Most people don't struggle with conversations because they have nothing to say. They struggle because they're too focused on what they should say next. There's a constant pressure in your mind to come up with the right sentence, the interesting response, or something that keeps the conversation alive. And that pressure creates silence, not because your mind is empty, but because it's overloaded. The truth is, running out of things to say is not about lacking ideas. It's about disconnecting from the moment. When you're fully present, conversations don't feel like something you have to manage. They flow naturally. You notice details, reactions, tone, small changes in the other person, and all of that gives you material to respond to. But when you're stuck in your head, trying to plan your next line, you miss everything happening in front of you. There's one more thing most people completely miss. You're trying too hard to be interesting. You want to say something smart, funny, or impressive, and that pressure is exactly what blocks you. But conversations don't work like that. The moment you shift your focus from "how do I sound" to "what can I learn about this person," everything changes, because now you're not performing anymore, you're connecting. And connection is what actually keeps a conversation alive. Another thing people don't realize is that conversations are not built on perfect sentences. They're built on simple exchanges. You don't need something deep or impressive every time you speak. Most conversations move forward through small, ordinary comments, observations, reactions, follow-up questions. The problem is, people underestimate how powerful simple is. They think it has to be better, when in reality, it just has to be real. A big shift happens when you stop trying to carry the conversation alone. You're not responsible for creating everything. The other person is part of it too. When you listen more carefully and respond to what they actually say, instead of jumping to a new topic, the conversation naturally expands. One sentence becomes two, two become a story, and suddenly you're no longer thinking about what to say, you're just responding. There's also something important about silence. Most people panic when there's a pause. They rush to fill it with anything, just to avoid awkwardness. But silence is not a failure. It's part of a real conversation. When you become comfortable with short pauses, you remove a huge amount of pressure from yourself. And ironically, that's when conversations start to feel easier. At the end of the day, you never really run out of things to say. You just lose connection with what's happening. And when you bring your attention back to the person, to the moment, to what's being said, words come naturally. Next time you're in a conversation, just remind yourself of these ideas and let things flow naturally. You're not running out of things to say, you're just overthinking. So relax, stay present, and let the conversation happen. And if this helped you, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video.